Welcome back, everyone, to this latest episode of What Lies Beneath, where, despite technical difficulties, we've actually managed to get on and actually start things running. So that's a positive to start with. In the last episode, which was longer ago than I would like, but that's what I get for updating Foundry without properly backing up, my own fault. The party dealt with some orcs and continued on their journey. Through the Underdark, seeking one of the other Myconid groves to try to see if they were in league with Lady Z or might be able to be turned into a potential ally. When they reached the river, there were some shenanigans, and Midas was washed downstream, seemingly dead. At least according to Squeaks the Fourth, who is now an owl due to other situations. Whilst this was happening, and perhaps whilst mourning his loss, or perhaps just being like, oh, now we've got to go get his stuff because he's got those cool magic items and things, they ran into a kobold who was fighting against a mushroom that glowed bright and spat acid. They interfered in his fight for a bit and were given a speech on the glory of the elementals and their powers and how he's so awesome because he has access to all their powers. Unfortunately, he was not a very good speech giver, and most of you fell asleep as part of this. Those that didn't were rewarded with a potion. You continued downriver to find Midas's corpse, but there was no corpse. In fact, you merely had a Midas who apparently had pulled a little prank on you. Just having a look. Not seeing Squeaks' token, unless I'm being blind.
It's probably because I desummoned him.
Yeah, that'd be why. You've headed downriver through a cave, and you were told by this initiate of the Elder Elementals that there was a creature down here known as a Thunder Beast, which may be too much even for one as powerful as him, so you should be really careful if you go that way. And that is where we left off. As the party head across this bridge across the river, they can see two pillars topped with skulls.
Pause on pause. Thank you. Oh, another great sign of the Underdark. Skulls.
And purple.
There is lots of purple.
Yep.
Yeah, we're in deep now.
Yeah, deep evil.
It is as you get to
Evil.
there, I am going to pause, as two of these skulls light up with a strange green flame.
Green flame.
And both turn to look at you and speak in unison. Just trying to think of a voice now. What are you doing here?
We get asked this a lot. Answer's always the same. Just passing through.
And who gave you the right to pass through here?
Your mother.
One of them looks to the other and goes, Mom wouldn't have let them through, would they? No, of course not. No, that's not what she'd do.
Of course she would. We had a very enjoyable sit down, some tea, and we're good friends, so she let us through.
Then what colour is Mother's flames if you know her so well?
Purple.
They always say purple and they're always wrong. And both of them whistle.
God damn it.
And
Whatever we look.
And there is... Yep, they managed to whistle somehow. Perhaps weirder than ever. And there is a loud thumping sound.
Uh-oh.
And at this point, we're going straight into initiative.
I don't like the look of that.
Yeah!
The Killosaurus.
Thunderbee skeleton. Oh, it's alright. Apart from that one up top, everything's good.
And one of the things that is perhaps noticeable to you by these skulls is that they're all covered in a thin layer of fungus of some kind.
Hmm.
Right. And it seems that it is one of these green skull lanterns first. Though for some reason it's not highlighting them to let me know it's their turn, which is fun.
One.
You need
Yep.
turn marker.
Whoa, what the hell is this?
The new pings.
New ping.
Yes.
Yep.
Yep. So let's.
But yeah, that module's turn marker.
Yeah, I'll have to look into that. As you are the one who liked them.
Lie, I elaborated. They don't know I don't know their mother.
Well, actually, these fly, so. Line up.
Looking purple.
Well, I would have guessed. What colors make green? Red? Red and yellow?
No.
I
Blue.
need a dex save if it's not prompted you for them. Hope it has.
Blue and yellow?
Uh-oh.
As this one lets out a tremendous blast of green flame, scorching your bodies. Though two of you managed to dodge and take most of the brunt, but Shmoosh takes the full brunt. He is very flammable, being a mushroom.
I try to stay moist.
Jorah, you're up. Bang.
And I was muted, sorry.
You were.
I even answered the question to the, what colour were the eyes? Sorry, yeah, I'm gonna see the Thunderbees. How do I target again? Oh, isn't it?
Yeah.
it should
Or
be
you can
all
double
good.
right click.
What
Oh, that's
Thunder
cool.
Beast?
The big skeleton thing over there.
I don't see it.
Oh, I do. And I'm going to hit it with a scorching ray.
No, you're not.
Okay,
Yeah.
so that's one.
Yep.
Again, because there's 3 beams if my memory's right.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
Actually, at your level, I think. No, yeah,
Yeah,
3
it's 3.
beams.
So
Yeah, you're
there's
not quite
number
there
2.
yet. That does hit. Glances off of it. It doesn't seem too fussed.
Number 3.
Again, it's hit. It's quite slow. So it takes the brunt of the blow.
And I'm back up behind Bibble.
Fair
And
enough.
that shall be my turn.
Oh, I didn't put any dynamic plating on those pulls. Interesting. Smoosh, you're up.
I'm gonna run over to here. Got eyes on this creature. I'm gonna go with a Tasha's Mind Whip on it.
Yay. Whip it real good.
Nice.
Now,
Alright. Yep.
choose whether it gets a move, an action, or a bonus action, and he gets one of the 3. Yeah.
One.
Okay.
And that's my go.
Okay. Bibble's turn. So Bibble will charge forward. And thing is floating up in the air, so he's gonna throw a javelin at her. Not sure why that rolled at advantage, but why did that roll at advantage? Like, the first roll hit anyway, so it doesn't matter, but very confused there. Okay, that is Bibble's turn. Elodie.
Let me just see what I can actually do, because I've got 1 second level spell slot. I have nothing else. So, yay.
You got your cantrips.
I was gonna Eldritch Blast the big thing. The Thunder Beast.
Yep, go for it. Oh, click the target. You rolled an advantage. No, you rolled a disadvantage because you've got an enemy next to you. That makes sense. Why did Bibble roll an advantage? Very confusing. But you still hit. It's taking the blast, but it's still coming.
That's all I can do.
Alright, Midas, you're up.
Is this thing in range in front of us? Hello?
I think it's something like floating up 5 or 10 feet. Right?
I think we lost James.
Maybe.
Lost connection to server.
Rough. Considering though that this thing, Bibble had to like throw a javelin.
It's weird, but none of them have any like markers to say they're high up.
Elevation. Yeah, I know. That's what I usually tend to do.
It's kind of throwing me a little bit because the targeting little thing has changed.
Yeah.
Everything's
Yeah.
changed. It's weird.
I don't like change.
I don't like change either.
I've come back.
I actually like those, but also I actually personally like those little arrows. It is clearer.
Yeah, it looks nicer. But
The pings are cooler as well.
Things are weird.
I've come back and I've got no spell slots and my dragon's been summoned again and I'm confused. I'm like an old person.
Yeah, because you weren't here last session.
It's alright. We'll help you out. I'm pretty low as well, if I'm honest, on stuff. But
Yeah, James's internet's just dropped entirely.
yeah, that's no good. You'll probably just have to reset his router.
Yeah, he's just said he's going to reset. Reset it
Midas
ASAP.
has got the COVID.
Oh.
Technical difficulties.
I
Yeah,
can use kind of daggers twice. I've got 2 second level spell slots.
I'll keep the stream going. Just we are waiting for our DM to come back.
Yes.
But oh yeah, last session I got to use my pint-sized pogo stick to cross the river. That was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also,
I've got one and I forgot I had it.
Midas, did I give you those gold mushrooms in the end, or did I hold them back? I think I held them back because I was like, well, I was gonna give you these.
No, you didn't.
That's right. Good.
Yeah,
You don't deserve those golden mushrooms. Not
I don't
until
I don't even know
you
about
make
them
it up to
anyway.
us. Yeah.
I don't think you even offered them to me or anything.
No, I think I remember saying, well, I was gonna treat you to gold mushrooms, but then when you went and pulled a prank on us, they're called rogues morsels.
What do they do?
I've no idea. I can't edit or look at them right now. They're just golden mushrooms. They're probably just worth a lot of money. Still sitting on a lot of spell scrolls here as well. Spell scroll of remove curse, just in case we ever need that. Spell scroll of friends.
Yeah.
That was stolen.
Oh, stolen, yeah.
You know, I still have my collar that I started the game with.
So do I.
Collar.
From when we were imprisoned.
Oh, yeah. I think I have mine as well. Yeah, we're not even on the thing anymore. It took us so long to get into the game and then it kicked us out.
Hmm. Alright, we will be right back. Our break, it wouldn't be, it won't be a long break.
Well, except for what James put in chat.
Yeah.
If you can't fix it quick, then you might have to call it.
Yeah.
Be right back. And we are back. Yes, sorry about the disconnect. Internet.
Small technical difficulties my end, but let's go in with Jamey, who is, well, Midas, who is right next to this skull lantern. It's probably about 10 feet in the air. So do with that information what you will. I'll even give it a little thing that says 10 feet in the air for you. This one's probably close to 20 at the moment. There you go. What you gonna do, Midas? And he's muted again.
Unmute yourself, Jamey.
Okay, as he's just gonna skip his turn in.
I was discussing like with Yaz because trying to
Right, we
figure
don't
out,
need an
like,
explanation. Take your turn.
anyway, is it in range of me or not? That
It's 10 feet in the air. Are you 10 feet tall?
okay? I see that it's got 10 feet on there. I will use steady aim to take a shot. Gives me advantage.
Go for it. You rolled with disadvantage.
But I click shift. Oh, it's seeing me as next to it.
Yeah, so we'll take your first roll.
This is 12 plus 6.
Which should be an 18, which on this thing would be a hit, and it is gone.
Wait, that's all
What's
it
to
has.
after?
Yeah.
It has less than 8 hit points?
Left
Oh.
after Bibble hit it, yeah.
Oh. Oh, that's my turn.
Yeah.
I will, however, move over there, but I don't know how far that was because the
Yeah,
haven't got
that
Drag ruler on.
yeah, drag ruler broke my
Oh.
Foundry.
Yeah.
That's one of the ones which stopped me being able to get into the configuring of the settings.
You don't need to change tool though. Just hold down control.
Yeah. Anyway, to the other skull lantern,
Oh yeah.
which you know what, you guys are in a nice little bit of. Actually, or should I? Yeah, actually, let's do it. Let's have fun. Yeah, you can get that. Cool. Actually, no, that doesn't make sense from a physics perspective. Diagonals and stuff. Let's just do it from here. Doesn't need to move. Boy, I can only get you there. You've actually positioned yourselves pretty well as a group, so it can't actually get two of you. In which case, it won't do that. It's going to fly down to Elodie and give her a bite. Which had disadvantage.
I think it's that module you have on, something to do with flanking or being within 5 feet or.
Yeah, I thought I turned that one off. I will look at that in a moment, but
It probably would have
anyway.
hit.
Yeah, I'm guessing a 17 would have hit you with. Yeah, it would have. So, okay, so you took 6 damage from it. I'll take that off. As it nibbles on you. And I'm going into my set. Okay, brings it to Laps's turn.
I don't even know what this is about, to be quite honest.
They're there.
move them out of the way if you don't want them to be in danger.
Yeah, I'm just gonna move it away from
Okay.
danger.
Blanket. No, what was I getting something? Ah, I think it's that that's having a problem. Okay.
Because Lapis is too squishy for anything, so I'm just keeping it out of the way.
Yeah. I think it's because these skull lanterns don't have any vision, so it was treating them as blind, and that's why they had disadvantage and people had advantage on them.
Oh lord.
Alright. Yeah, that's actually really annoying. Yeah, I can get to there.
Don't forget that it is mind whipped.
Yep, so that is all it does this turn, and yep, there's all it does this turn. Which brings it to Jorah's turn.
Yes. So seeing that it's come round this way, I'm going to cast Mind Sliver on it.
Okay. Okay.
It's bloodied, and yeah, it takes 1d4 off its next saving throw.
Yep. Okay.
And I'm gonna peek, just hide around the corner.
Alright, Shmoosh, you're up.
We're just gonna get up to it and extend one of his little tendrils, his vine tendrils. Try to shocking grasp this. Yeah.
Yep.
Then moving away. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. I'm getting to here. And that's my go, I think.
Yeah. Does Mind Whip only last one turn?
That's it. It's gone. It's into the end of his next go,
Yeah, so
which was just back then a moment
Yeah.
ago.
So Bibble will charge in and bring
But
down.
now it's not got its reaction again until the start of its next turn.
Well, that's Bibble's turn.
Well, Bibble.
Elodie, you're up.
I'm gonna cast Cloud Daggers on the Thunder Beast skeleton.
Okay, go for it.
Takes damage. No save. The start of its turn. Or whenever it does the thing.
Yep. You took the damage. Okay. Midas.
You may have to roll for me, because by trying to fix the thing. Oh wait, is it actually rolling now? I didn't mean to. I didn't mean to do that, but
Don't know why that rolled at disadvantage for you.
yeah.
Probably because it thinks that it's a ranged weapon within melee.
That.
Okay, but either way it hits, so if you want to sneak attack, you can.
Yeah. So I'll have charged at it, and
I didn't think I had a module on that was doing that, unless that's built in the corner.
sneak attack, and then I'll do my actual attack because I meant to do it the other way around.
Sure.
No.
Oh,
Yeah, you brought it down.
okay.
It's a big scary beastie, but with a group, and to be honest, it not being able to do much, it was, yeah.
Cool. We'll take
Oh.
that. We like
Yep.
those victories.
This skull lantern that's here just sort of looks at the group and is like, wow, congratulations, I hope you've had fun, and I'm just gonna, then it just disengages and flies off through a hole in the ceiling.
Hey,
I get
Where'd he
directly
go?
to the hole in the ceiling and I shoot up.
You can roll me an attack roll. Just roll me 2d20 and we'll take the lower because you can't actually see it.
I'll steady aim to give advantage.
I can see it though.
So
Well, maybe you can.
it'll be a regular attack, so I'm steady aiming.
Can I throw an Eldritch Blast at it?
You can
This is
maybe
annoying.
try. Just roll a d20 then.
20.
You actually, Jorah, you will miss due to cover, but Midas, you do manage to clip it.
Is it 1d6 plus dex?
Yeah.
What's my dex? Plus 4. Stupid pissing about.
did you kill it?
Did it fall back down to me?
Unfortunately, that one hadn't taken any damage, so
No.
wasn't. So it's flown away, gone down some little tunnels in the ceiling where too small for anyone except maybe Shmoosh to go, but I doubt Shmoosh wants to go into tiny tunnels.
No.
Just
But
leave it.
you have successfully taken down the 2 skull lanterns and the Thunder Beast skeleton, which the other guy was so afraid of.
Can I try and retrieve my bolts?
I'll say you can get them back. They only hit bone in this case.
Oh, cool.
Oh,
Right. So, I will say, looking about this cavern, you can see that there is an exit to the south and an exit to the north.
oh. Anyone need any bones?
I mean, we might be able to sell a big skull like that if we can fit it in the bag of holding.
I doubt it. It's pretty
It is
big.
pretty hefty.
I could try and get some ribs in there though.
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, but we might find a very big dog that's hungry. Give it a bone
Yeah.
instead.
Also, much like the skeletons that the skulls that had a slight fungusy sheen, these bones do have that sort of fungusy coating to the point where to the point where it's almost like that thin layer of meat that you get on ribs in some places, but it's fungus.
How many ribs do you reckon I could get?
On a survival check.
Okay.
I will cast guidance.
Thank you.
$13.
13.
Yeah, I'll say you can get a couple of them.
Okay.
So, weirdly, in terms of messing about with my thing, unless I'm targeting an enemy, I can't roll to attack.
That might be one of the
That's-
settings.
That's
somewhere.
MIDI cure well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I tried to make it so that I could roll with advantage and disadvantage, but it's not fixed it. It's made it worse.
Well, if you've set it as that, then that'll be how it works. You don't need to test it.
You won't be able to attack things.
A sec. Let's
You've got
find
on
out.
MIDI cure while it's on.
Yeah, it requires target to be selected.
Yeah.
In combat, so. Which.
It still didn't roll with advantage, even though I set it. Cool. Cool.
Probably because you're rolling with disadvantage. Just roll normally.
No, I did roll with advantage. I set it to shift.
Yeah, roll normally.
Okay. Roll normal. That's normally. And then this would be with advantage if I'm holding shift.
Need to go to configure controls.
Try the other
MIDI
one.
cure well. Advantage and shift. Did you also delete the ones from versatile? You also need to delete the shift key bindings from versatile.
Yeah, that is now set to alt left and alt right. So I've got shift left, shift right for advantage, control left, control right for disadvantage, but neither of those work. And alt left, alt right for versatile.
I'm not sure on that, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
Not sure either.
For now, let's continue. Would you like to go south, north, or go back?
Well, I feel like going north is kind of going back on ourselves. Weirdly.
So I'm not actually attacking.
I say we go south. Just a hunch. It's not working. Don't
Yeah,
worry.
none of them were working for some reason.
No, I know. Don't know why.
Foundry
I think
being
it's the module.
stupid.
This way, guys.
Which way?
There
way.
is here.
You know, Shmoosh.
Oh. There's cobwebs.
And more purple.
Yep, you are now in a purple cabin, which does have some cobwebs, but they look quite old.
Oh.
Where W is up, but D is downwards to an angle.
I'll scout ahead.
Foundry's being such a stupid idiot right now. You're scouting ahead?
I've got the 120-foot range vision.
Have you got decks?
I've got +6 decks. +3 decks even.
It's not bad.
So, Jorah, as you get to this middle point here,
Yeah.
roll me a perception check.
I will guidance myself. Perception. I'm not very perceptive, but we'll see.
Okay.
18.
From the north of you, just in the distance, you can hear the sound of like a pickaxe or something on stone, like that.
Mm-hmm.
And from the south, you can hear conversation. You can't quite make out the words, but you can definitely hear some form of conversation.
Do I understand the language?
It's too far away, it's just like a muffle in the background, so I wouldn't say you'd be able to necessarily understand it.
I'm gonna peek for a little bit more just to see if I can see further down.
Okay, with your vision,
Because that's not 120 feet.
yeah, with your vision,
Mm-hmm.
you can see what looks like the face of a giant snail.
Oh. Is that the south, yeah?
Yeah, that's just through this entranceway here. A bit past the entrance, you can see what looks like the face of a giant snail munching on what looks like a bit of lettuce.
Right. And if I go here to the north,
You can't see anything to the north. It's a bit more distant, you'd say. You're probably hearing like the echoes through the cave more than it being like just directly north of you. But because it's mining, that echo sort of echoes through, as it would.
okay, and mining normally tends to mean dwarves. Technically, so I'll come back and I'll relay that information.
Or kobolds.
Yeah. Or kobolds.
Or goblins.
Could be, yeah. But either way, big ass snail to the bottom, eating lettuce.
Or briganox.
What's a briganox?
Well, you don't see them very often. They're like small little miners. Beardy. I think like gnomes, but more mystical.
That's interesting. Never heard of them before.
Don't get
It's,
many too down. Don't get too many down here. More like the Fey Dark.
So yes, that's to the north, and to the south there's a snail eating lettuce, which I'm assuming doesn't grow down here that like in the caves.
Snail? What? No, that's new.
A big ass snail eating lettuce.
Hmm.
What do you think, Smoosh? You're from down here more than you know more about down here than I do at least.
Well, if it's a snail, it's probably safe because it's not going to eat us, right? Well, actually, I could be like a lettuce, but
I'll put you in my pocket, don't worry.
alright, let's go see the snail.
Okay. Yeah, well, we're off to see the snail.
Yes.
Okay.
The wonderful snail.
It might indeed be a wonderful snail. Who knows?
It could be a dangerous snail, we don't know.
Could be a flower snail.
Don't squeeze.
Right.
And
Right.
onto a new map.
Uh-oh. It's hard to see as my character.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm following. I think I went the right way.
Um,
I hope I went the right way.
Yeah.
I did.
You see this giant snail. You hear the sound of babbling conversation, and you see this little like furry individual sitting at the reins of this giant snail. Sort of looks at you and goes, "Hey, boss, got some more customers by the looks of it."
customers?
And this lovely little individual walks around and goes, "Yes, customers, welcome. The Rauto's Undermarket. I am Rauto, and this is my undermarket." It's kind of
Rauto?
self-explanatory.
What
Did
do you sell?
Hold on, didn't we get told about a Rauto?
I don't know, did we? Can I make a history check to see if I remember the name?
You
Yeah,
can.
Can I make
I
a
will.
memory check?
Guidance.
Yep. When would you have heard about this Shmoosh? Because even my brain's gone a little on that.
I just
but
remember a Rauto from... This rings a bell.
Well,
It
And I
was
mean,
late.
if he's got his own market, he might be, he might have some prestige.
Heard of me you have? Well, that's fantastic. Everyone should have heard of Rauto. But first of all, I will. You can come round to see me in a moment. But first, my lovely measle friend up here will explain the rules. So, is one big rule about down here in the Undermarket. There ain't no fighting, no matter who you are or what you are. Got it? We're all here
Okay.
just to have, a good time. Maybe have a few drinks, maybe buy some goods, send some messages, whatever. Maybe gather some gossip, but other than that, Yeah, pretty much good to go. Oh, and no stealing, of course. It's a marketplace. If you want something, you got to pay for it.
Oh,
And if
hear
you
that,
steal,
Midas?
you'll pay with your lives.
Got it.
I got it.
I'm gonna lean down to Shmoosh and whisper in his ear. Can you use your vines to tie Midas's wrists behind his back so he doesn't get any ideas?
Yeah, it's not a bad idea.
As you're looking around,
Get back here.
Jorah, you would probably notice that there's actually a drow sitting at one of these tables being entertained by a dancer of some kind.
Yeah, I sort of clocked them straight away. That's why I went, oh.
There's also a goblin at another table, what you assume to be a deep gnome, and a dwarger as well.
Oh,
Yep.
And this guy at the back here.
Yep. Who is something you don't quite recognize. But he looks very lizard-like.
a strength check? Can I not acrobatics out of this?
I mean, at this point, he's pretty much... I mean, you can acrobatics out of it, I guess.
'Cause isn't that like what you do with a grapple check? You can use
Yeah,
acrobatics.
I guess.
It's alright, I'm still in.
You're fine.
His hands are tied.
I'm gonna reach out and pat the snail.
Yeah, this is old Snilby. He's a good boy. He carries the goods.
Yeah. I've never seen one that's quite as large.
Ah, this one's just a baby. You should see the mums. It's very scary.
That's a baby.
Well, more like a toddler to small child, but I think of it as baby.
Have
That's
you?
a terrifying thought.
What have you got for sale?
Well, probably our most popular good is our aged goodberry wine.
Aged good berries? I thought good berries only last a day.
Ah, well, that's where the secret is.
They're moldy, aren't they?
No, we don't deal with mold. We deal with moss.
They're the same stuff.
Yeah, only to those who don't know the difference. Would you like to try a small taste, see what you think?
Okay,
Yeah,
I'll
I'm
stick my-
more than willing to try.
I'll stick my foot in a sample.
Yeah, he pours you a small shot glass of a thick red liquid. It tastes fruity and floral with notes of honey and the feeling of a fresh breeze, and it's deeply rejuvenating. Of course, because you're just getting a sample, you don't get much of the effect, but you do get 1 hit point back.
Oh,
Yay.
all this stuff's good.
Yes,
That's really good.
takes a while to brew. It's aged after all, but
How much is that?
well, we like to sell it at 10 gold a bottle.
How many drinks do you get out of a bottle?
Between 4 and 7.
Yeah, Midas would love to buy some.
Would I?
Yeah, you got the gold, remember?
What gold?
All the gold.
I don't carry gold.
Midas, you're so funny.
Now, I should probably explain exactly how this works. Essentially, a serving takes a full minute to drink. But when you have drunk it for that minute, you feel as if you have rested for a full hour.
Oh,
But not from a magical perspective, just from a physical perspective.
So I don't regain my spells back.
No.
Damn it.
But
Yeah.
essentially, you can spend hit dice on it, and for each, and you'll get a +1 on those hit dice for it. So it's like a boosted short rest in a short time.
each hit dice has a good berry.
Yeah, basically.
I'll have a look around and decide afterwards.
Yes. We also don't just trade in
You trade?
physical goods. We do trade, but we also trade in rumors.
Oh.
Hmm.
We have a great rumor mill. It's why many come here. They like to they come for the rumors and they stay for the wine. And then in some cases they get so addicted they don't leave, and I get extra people to help me. It's lovely.
Hmm.
Of course. I thank you for the information,
Yes.
and I shall have a look around.
But I suppose, if you're wondering what we have, I suppose it's more of a what you want, because we might have stuff not out here, but perhaps in our storeroom if I know exactly what you're looking for. Yes.
Hmm.
Okay. Okay. Were these any good to you? And I pull out the bag of rogue's morsels. These are golden mushrooms.
Rogue's morsels. You don't see those very often down here. More of a surfacey thing, I think. Been a while since I've seen them. Sniffs them. Very fresh, freshly picked. Which would suggest that you found somewhere down here where these grow. How about I
could trade.
make you a little bargain, mushroom?
Okay.
You provide me with one of these as a sample, and tell me where you found them, and I will give you a bottle of my wine.
Okay, deal.
He,
I'll hand him one of the rogue's morsels.
yeah, and he will.
I found them. If you go out the south end exit here, and you go across the bridge with the skulls, up the waterfall, and there's a passageway on the north side of the river.
To send out some scouts to have a look.
I can draw you out a map if you like.
No. Your instructions are quite sufficient. Now, Filbert, get one of your lot to go check that out for me, verify the validity of that. But for now, I shall trust you. Myconans have never given me any reason to doubt them. So, here, have a bottle. Specially sized for you, but will have just the right amount of the same amount as if it was a bigger bottle, concentrated as it were. And there will be 6 servings in that.
Ooh, tasty. Thank you. Is there an item to drag on my sheet, or shall I just create one?
I haven't made one,
No, that's
so
alright. I
just
can
put
make.
H good berry wine, and I will give you the.
Yeah.
I'll put the. I'm taking one of its effects away because it seems a tad powerful.
Yeah, Rav sort of bloody hell, sorry, wrong game. Jorah's keeping an eye on this drow. Just everything he's been through with drow, it's
Yep.
He
seems quite mesmerized by this. What appears to be an elven dancer. And strangely, the dancer entertaining the other 3 appears to look almost identical. Yes. This little lizard-like thing, who is apparently known as Filbert, lets out a strange hissing sound that reminds you of a burning fire. And you can hear like a scurrying sound behind him, but then nothing more.
They said that they trade in secrets and information.
That is one thing that they trade. They do have secrets and information. And they've already just seen that. Shmoosh
Yep.
gave them information on where they might find a good that could service them.
What if I could give them information regarding Menashara?
Hmm.
Which family is currently in charge or currently in power? And which families are growing?
Are you actually saying that to them?
I'm loosely querying it. Not saying I know how, but if I knew that sort of information.
This drow raises an eyebrow at your statement.
It's
but-
quiet enough just for the sort of guy in front to hear.
Yeah.
I'm not sort of being loud over it because I know it can be a bit of a
Yeah.
iffy subject.
Well, I suppose that would depend on how up to date your information is.
It changes.
Ooh, now that is exciting. What little tidbit have you got? Have you got a spy in their court? Because that would be fantastic. No offense. He just calls over to the drow.
You could say I've got a way to get the information. What would it cost? Or what would you be willing to pay?
Well, how about information for information?
Okay. Let me have a word with my associates, see what more we need to know. And if you can help us there, then I'm sure we can
I
make
can
a deal.
certainly try.
Yeah, so I'll sort of pick Shmoosh up, or go over to I'll thank him for that, and head over to Shmoosh and query it with him and with Midas. Sort of what any information we currently need.
What's Menashara again?
One
Need
of the
directions.
major drow cities.
Need directions to nearby settlement.
I mean,
I'm
that's
trying to.
that's not going to be too difficult to come across.
Hmm.
I wonder if he would have a map.
More information on what's going on in there as well.
Can I hold my hand towards the bindings and summon a psychic blade to cut to cut the rope?
I mean, you can certainly try.
I mean, it seems simple. If you summon a dagger in your hand and
Yeah.
and it appears exactly where the rope is,
Yes.
something's gonna give.
Yeah, you can certainly try. Roll me just roll me a d20.
Or a d20.
There is something I would like to know.
Yes.
Um, there's apparently an old circle of Myconid colonies. It's the oldest, has the oldest sovereign, and its city is on the back of an enormous cavern. You don't know the name of it? Or the name of the sovereign?
You're looking for a Myconid grove. Let me check my records. Just remind myself because I've named these and now my brain has
So Midas,
apparently.
you'll owe me a new rope if you cut that rope.
Ah, yes, you would be looking for. No, not that one. That one's one of the newer ones, so it is rather exciting, but. You would be looking for The Destroying Angel Grove,
Good lord.
otherwise known as Amanita Bisporgera, I
Is it purple?
believe. No,
You
no.
write that down. Just
Yes. So let me. Yes. That. So. Yes. So named because their guardian that they ride upon is seen as a destructive force able to destroy any foe but protect them like a guardian angel. Or so I've heard, at least.
wow. That's a good rumor.
I
And do
do
you know the
also
sovereign's name?
sovereign. Let me check the sovereign of that one. I believe is wait. Not that. That's is I believe Sargrel.
Well,
Yes.
alright. That's a weird spelling.
Said to be known as the heart of the angel. Or the brain. I never remembered which.
Okay. Thank you. That's good. That's good information.
As you're asking about that, perhaps, and I gave you that one as a little tidbit, perhaps you would be interested in knowing about some of the other myconid groves.
Well, I think we're heading towards city of Port Bello.
Oh, you've gone completely the wrong way.
Oh,
You,
I
you
thought
came,
there was a city of trade, and there were riverways to get to it.
yes, and you came downriver rather than upriver,
Oh,
and the wrong way.
okay. We might be heading towards the city of growers then.
Ah, the city of growers.
Is that where we're going?
I mean, if you're following this way, if you head up there, you've obviously got that goblin mine. You go through there. You might get to Hen of Woods if you can follow that way through.
Do you happen to have a map of the area? Or able to
Unfortunately,
draw one?
well, that would be quite useless, as particularly recently. Tunnels have had a. It's not actually surprising you ended up going the wrong way. They've had a tendency to change more frequently, as if there's some influence shifting them. Makes traveling very difficult. Why we've been posted up here for so long, because it's a stable place, seemingly.
Hmm. Okay,
But
I will be back momentarily. I need to contact my associate for this information.
that is
I'll look at
fair.
Shmoosh and go, have you got paper and ink I can borrow or I can use to write this down?
I think we do actually.
I would think you do, being the wizard. To write
Yeah, I don't
spells.
really have a book though. Funnily enough, but let me look through here.
I'll see if guy here's got paper and parchment and ink I can acquire to get him his information.
Well, if it's information that you're going to provide, I suppose me providing some pen and paper for you would be well within my remit. Let me see. Do you have a particular favorite shade of paper?
I'm not much of a writer, especially down here. I'm not from down here if I'm from the surface.
We do have an inkwell.
Well, they hand you a piece of parchment. It is slight yellowed colour.
That's not a problem. So I'll grab that in the inkwell, and I'm assuming I can use something of a pen.
Yeah.
I'll say to Shmoosh, keep an eye on him, and I'll grab Bibble on the way out and just get him to sort of stand guard while
Yeah.
So even though I'll sort of stand here, I'm going back out into the tunnel,
Yeah.
and then I'll pull out the handkerchief I've got
Yep.
that shows all the fluctuating houses, and I'll write down which ones are looking the more powerful, which ones have increased since I last looked at it, which have decreased.
That is fair. The one you have, I'll say this, the one you have seen decrease the most is... Where is my named drow? Is the Tenor family.
Right.
They seem to have decreased the most. They're still in, like, the most powerful families, but before they were a couple further up.
Yep.
And now they've dropped a bit.
That's not a problem. So yeah, so I'll give it sort of 5-10 minutes out here, so it makes it look like I'm, I've cast a spell or whatever to, contact someone.
Yes.
And I'll say to Bibble, do not tell anyone, even that I have this, because people would kill for that.
It will just nod.
So yeah, I'll sort of come back in about 10 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah.
What would everyone like to be doing for that 10 minutes?
Getting out to my bindings.
I mean, you can certainly try. You can give me a sleight of hand to try to...
Well, I just rolled you a d20.
Oh, yeah, you did. What did you get on the D20? I actually lost it in the chat.
Got a 15, but if it's with my psychic dagger attack, then it would have been a 21.
Then yes.
But you're restrained, so disadvantage.
True.
Okay.
That is true.
Still a 20.
Then you're able to cut through the rope and free your hands.
Hey, if you didn't tie me up, I wouldn't have to undo it.
Guess you have to buy me a new rope, Midas.
Alright, but only half a rope, because you're the one that did this to me.
I did it for your own good.
You didn't ask me if I was going to steal or not. You just assumed.
The rules are don't steal.
Yeah.
So if you don't steal, there wouldn't be any problems.
So why would I steal if I've been told not to?
Because we know you.
Okay, everywhere I've stolen from hasn't told me not to steal.
Wow. You have to be told not to steal things? Just so you don't steal? See, this is the problem, Midas.
That's why there's rules.
That's like saying to someone, don't kill me. It's assumed to everyone not to do bad things to other people. You do bad things.
I mean, if you like, we do offer a service where we could fix that.
What?
Fix a rope?
No, fix your stealing tendencies.
No, I like my liberating tendencies.
I'm interested in hearing.
Well, we offer some therapy sessions using hypnosis. We can put in some, subliminal commands.
I have had enough hypnosis problems with Shmoosh already.
Can you show me how to do this?
No.
Oh, of course, but what's it worth?
Well, I'm a sort of a enchantment wizard myself. It's definitely in my wheelhouse. What have I
Well,
got here? Um, hmm.
I do have something that might be of interest to you then.
I have an emerald.
Well, that seems like it might be a worthy trade for this lovely scroll I recently procured.
Oh yeah.
Yes, I am. I have this lovely little spell scroll. It's quite a powerful one. Took me a bit to get a hold of. Not something that I myself can use, but it is a spell of how do you pronounce this word? Geese? Yes.
Yes.
Ghosts? Yes. That's the one.
Ah, that's a high level spell.
Yeah, it's a fairly rare scroll. It's actually he sort of unfurls and it just seems to keep going because of how long the scroll is.
Wow.
Probably take up a good few pages in anyone's spellbook to get all the details down. But using this isn't how I'd do it, but teaching you how I'd do it would take more time. But this you could make it to make someone refrain from an activity or course of activity for some time.
This sounds. It sounds like it's right up my alley.
Mm.
How much? Do you
Well,
want this for the emerald?
how big an emerald are we talking? I can't remember
Uh,
back at the time.
I pull it out. I'll let him examine it. It doesn't have much more info on that than just
Where did you get it
emerald.
from?
This might have been the hand. There was a hand coming out of a wall.
Oh, wait, but then you would have got rid of that
No,
because you
okay.
had to feed it to the door to open the door.
Oh,
You might not have that emerald then.
oh! It's actually this.
Oh, flame orange spin now. Those can be used for some magical stuff. Seems an almost fitting trade. Well, let me.
What else have I got?
Now, if I was to do this in terms of raw gold, we'd probably be talking around 700 gold pieces for something like this.
Oh my!
Quite rare. Almost very rare, but not quite. Needs to be 6th level for that, from my understanding. But yeah. But the flame orange spin now, considering it's quite large, quite well cut. In fact, it's not been. This is fairly fresh from the actual source flower, by the looks of it. So that would probably be maybe 50 golds worth.
I've got this.
A rock shaped like a star.
Yep.
Not sure on that one.
Okay. Let me look through the bag.
Just a second.
Have a silver inkwell.
Mr. Deep Gnome, would you mind coming over here a moment? I require your services in exchange for a glass of wine. He wanders over. This, you're quite well attuned with gemstones and the such, I believe. Any ideas on this, lovely little star-shaped rock? It's quite pretty. Yeah, star-shaped rocks now. This is... How bloody hell did you get one of these down here? This is a piece of... Well... It's a piece of a star that fell from the sky, I reckons.
Oh, yeah, a geomancer gave it to me.
Ah, Geomancer. Well, I would expect why I would have one. Ooh, Geomancer.
Yeah, all the way from Shinoris.
Would you mind if I lick it?
No, go ahead.
He licks the rock. Yes, there's definitely geomancy magic in there. I would probably say 30 gold's worth.
30 gold. Okay, we're getting somewhere.
And he gets his glass of wine and wanders off.
Wait, before you go, what about this? Do you know what this is? And I bring out the gem from the undead shambling mound.
Oh, okay. Now this is going to be an interesting one. I'm actually going to make him roll for this one because this one's a much more interesting piece.
And has it changed in the time I had it?
Not that you can notice, at least.
Okay.
He looks then and goes, Nah, no idea what that one is. Sorry, mate. He wanders back off.
Yeah.
But maybe our lovely little router will know more. Nope.
No one knows what it is. I put it back in the bag of holding. Yeah. Other than that, this silver inkwell might be worth something. I don't know.
Silver is valuable.
Oh, it's worth 25 gold. It says it on it, actually.
Quite nice. I would.
Yeah.
I was going to say 20, but I can see the price tag.
Yeah. Yeah.
Someone left it on. Silly love.
Apparently. So I've got like 100 gold's worth now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm getting there.
Not quite
Got
enough.
this thing.
Why is that called Pim's Cup?
I don't know. Apparently, it's got a magic item similar to that. It might be a magic item called a Pim's Cup.
Maybe. Seeing if I can find it. Because that sounds like a Griffin's saddlebag item if I've ever heard one. But I'm not finding it. I do remember that at some point, though, now that you've said it.
That was a really old. Like, it was one of the first items I got.
Let me just.
All I remember though was it was. It was something for drinking out of, obviously, but it did something when you drank out of it.
I think I may have found it.
Really?
Or this is what I found at least for a Pim's Cup.
Yes.
It's gnomish made.
Ah.
That looks right.
You want the link for where I just found that, James?
Yeah.
Because there's 100 gnomish inventions on there.
Yes, it's one of the Nomis inventions. That's what it was.
There you go.
Yeah.
There's the link. Yeah, because it's also where the Let Go came from.
Yeah.
Amazing.
So that's what it does. Actually seems like something you might use. It's a potion making device, essentially.
Yeah, through seasoning usage. Use mixed liquid and powdered additives contained in the outer shell. It's intended as layman's friendly for potion mixing device. I think that's what I was using for it.
Yeah. Well,
maybe. I'll see how much he offers for it. If it's not much, I will probably keep it.
He has a look over it, lifts it up and down, turns it upside down, maybe plays with a few of the switches, and goes, a pretty little piece. Doesn't look like a proper complete one, though. I've seen one like this before. Probably a prototype, but that's a certain rarity value, so I could probably say 30 gold.
30 gold, okay. might keep on to that one. But for now, I haven't got much else worth trading, guys. Has anyone else got any? Oh wait, we got 4. I've got 4 platinum in here. That's
I know
400 gold. No, it's 40 gold, isn't it?
That's 40 gold, yeah. I know I'm not here though. Did we give over the wedding gifts in the end, or have we still got them?
I did, yeah.
Yeah.
Right, I'll remove my Sylvan Hat Mushroom then. I think I gave you that.
Yeah. I'll just quickly check in with the others. Elodie, what are you up to?
I'm just chilling.
Chilling, having a look around, maybe watching the dancer.
Yeah, I'm just gonna have a look at the dance and
That's
see if
fair.
I can pick up some handy tips, you know.
Yeah. Midas, how about you?
Just looking about for something of use.
Yeah, I mean, what exactly would you determine as of use?
Let's see, any magic items that might be useful? Anything that looks
Okay.
special, or even someone who has a decent amount of gold willing to take upon a rumor for some money.
There is one item which might catch your eye. It's fairly pricey based on the tag, be 1,500 gold. But it is a pair of goggles of night.
I need.
So there's that.
Yeah,
Um,
I'll try and get that because that would be so useful to not have to piss about with lanterns.
mhm.
Was it give you? How much vision does it give?
Goggles of night, I want to say it's 60
60
feet. Yeah. So be a big boon, and also it's not even an attunement type, and you just pop them on.
Interesting.
They look
How
like
much are
that.
they?
Yeah,
I
they're
don't have
1,500 gold.
I don't have that much money, but would you perchance prefer a rumor? And by rumor, I mean proved fact.
Yeah, I suppose it depends on what the rumor is.
How about a room secretly hidden in Shinoris, full of liquid currency?
Hmm. 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 It would take a while. Do you have any evidence of said room? Other than your word? As obviously we can check this little mushrooms rumor quite easily by sending off the scout. Shinoris is quite far. So,
I don't have any of the liquid itself, but I did procure this item set upon a little pedestal when I came in, and I show the golden dragon statue.
interesting. Right, just a moment. Walks over to a stone and picks up and holds it to the ear. Come on, pick up, you prick.
You got a sending stone?
Yep.
Oh,
Alright,
I've been looking for another one of those.
yeah, I got this, now, where did I get this from? I got this from, nice ogre fella that came past.
Wait, really? Is my sending stone ringing right now?
Yes.
I'll pick it up.
What the hell?
Hello?
Hello?
Oh.
I
You.
walk, hold on, sorry, I'll walk away first and then I'll answer it.
Hello?
Oh, I can't speak through a sending stone. I just realized because I can't speak. Oh damn it! I'll go over to Bibble. My sending... I'll release some spores. My sending stone's ringing. Can you answer this for me? Oh, Elodie? Actually, Elodie's a great choice.
Yeah.
You know what? Because she's not doing anything. Hey, Elodie,
Hello.
can you pick this up for me?
Yeah, sure. Do I just hold it?
Yep.
Yeah, I hand you like this weird stone. It's got the picture of a face on it, like a side profile, and it seems to be ringing.
Just like hold it up to like closer to my face. So, hello, hello.
Is this wait, recognize that voice. If I use the wrong stone.
Change your voice, Elodie.
This isn't altar, is it?
Oh yes, yes, yes. This is Jorah. How can I help you?
Well, I was hoping you could your voice sounds horrible. You got a cold. Or something.
Oh, a little bit. It's the weather down here, you know how it is.
Yes. Can we get colds? Whatever, but it's beside the point. I was wondering if you could pass on a message to Rolter and see if he can yeah, and pass on, and I think he's got a little side gig near Shinoris at the moment. See if he can find out if there's a hidden room there.
Oh yes, yes. I'll pass on the message to him.
Alright, and tell him to use network 4 when he pulls back. I should go straight to me. I don't have one straight to him, but he has one straight to me. It's a weird connection, but yeah.
Oh, okay. Network 4, was it?
Yep, that's the one.
Okay, I'll write it down for you.
Thank you very much.
It's it's like his secretary.
I'm listening, not to that side of the conversation. Am I listening to him say all this, the
Yep.
merchant? And I'm just stood there like, you sent a message to someone to get them to speak to that person over there.
I mean, I sent a message.
To get them to speak to Rolto.
No, I'm Rolto. I said to Rolter.
You see, that's why I got confused earlier. I said, like, oh, I've heard of this guy.
I thought that was Rolto. Then who am I
No.
speaking to?
You're just at the stall at the moment.
I was speaking to someone at the stall, and they were wanting to speak to Rolto.
Nope, it was this guy over here. He was just speaking to you.
Oh,
There's actually no one at that stall at the moment.
Oh.
He was talking to you over here. But this guy is Rauto. He wanted to speak to Altar so that he could speak to.
Oh my lord! What have you done, James?
I'm so confused. Who's who?
This is why, as soon as I walked in, I was like, "Oh, we've heard of this guy, haven't we?" And I was like, "Because you've got Rolto, Altar, and Rolter. Like, come on."
But, hopefully, my cousin Rolter will get back to me soon, and I can confirm your rumor. And then, if that's true, and we can make use of that, then we can probably knock off some of the price.
But I didn't even tell you where it was.
He said it was a hidden room in Shinoris. We'll find it.
Do you know how many rooms there are in Shinoris?
Of course. Just look for an extra one that we haven't been to before.
But I didn't even tell you if it was in a room or behind a wall.
No?
Yeah, you keep that information close to hand until you get the goggles on out.
But
Yeah, we just want to confirm. We're very good at finding hidden rooms. Just leave that down.
Right, I'm just gonna. Can I have these goggles now?
No, I've got to wait for the call to come back. Otherwise, your rumor could be anything. I can't just give you a completely unverified rumor. At this
Don't
point,
say-
at
don't
this
send-
point, another one of these lizards walks in, whispers something to Filbert, who then says, "Confirmed," and then wanders off.
Okay.
Right, Shmoosh, yep, your rumors all confirmed, little Mike and guy. So,
Oh, excellent.
so the wine's all yours.
Thank you. Well,
As for yours, it might be a little while, Blondie, but if you're willing to come back in maybe a day or two, you know, you can hopefully we'll have word by then.
Can I speak to this person on the other end? Because maybe I can guide them to it a lot quicker than just saying there's a secret room.
I mean, well, I had to speak to Altar to speak to Rolter. God, I'm confused now. In order to get them to contact me directly, so I've got to wait for them to contact me, and it could be a little while. He's a very busy chap.
Huh.
Right, so,
But if you're
Seems-
looking to do something whilst you're waiting, you could obviously pay for a dance from from the twins. You
but I
could.
don't have any gold.
Yeah, I'm sure there's other ways you could pay. Or if you're looking for something near,
bullshit.
there's something nearby, you just don't want to stay here. There's always the Goblin Mine. They're quite nice. Also, go visit the Rum Lord.
Rum Lord?
Yeah,
He sells rum?
yeah.
Oh.
Special
Hey,
flavor rum.
Is there a place to stay? Like a little inn?
Well, you can over up on that ledge over there. You can it's like a little area you can rest up in.
Oh.
So if you want to rest there, you can.
Is that free to rest there, or?
Yeah, we don't charge people to rest, particularly because it's some of them talk in their sleep, and then we get free rooms.
You know what? That sounds like a great idea. I think we're gonna go take a little snooze, and then hopefully in the morning, Midas, you might get that rumor confirmed.
I'll come back in, sort of hiding the hanky before I come in.
Yep.
I go, walk up to. It was him, was it? I was dealing with.
No, it's this one over here.
Okay, yeah. So
This guy's just the driver.
okay, so yeah, I'll head over to him.
Yes, so have you got your information from your contact?
I'll hand him over the. I'll show him part of the parchment to give him some of the information.
Well, based on some of the rumors I've heard recently, this seems quite viable, though them being in that position, wouldn't want to be them.
So, how much would this information get me? Bear in mind, that's
Um,
half of it.
Well, considering that what's going on in Menashar right now, the coming goings and when certain deals would be most applicable could be quite valuable. What exactly are you looking for in exchange?
So I know my friends have asked for other favours or information for items. What would this knock off of prices?
Well, say I could probably knock off a good. See that bit about the Tenor family. That could be very useful. Let's say 100 gold.
I'll show him the rest of the information that I did keep. So I showed him only like the first half.
Yeah.
So I'll show him the rest of it and see what he thinks then.
And this is accurate up as far as you're aware?
You're up until this morning.
Interesting. Assuming this is true, huh? That does mean the sale of body part is going to be a lot more valuable in the upcoming time.
What the fuck?
And I could probably definitely use some of that. So, I'll up it to 200 gold.
Done.
And he hands you 200 gold pieces in exchange.
Yep. And
And you got a free tidbit of information that it appears that the Drow are dealing in body parts. Or at least one of the families is.
So I will sort of query that. Body parts, humanoid or bones?
Mostly other Drow, but depends on depends on the fashion trends.
I mean, we did get some Thunderbeast ribs recently.
Probably a bit too
Laying
big.
around, yeah.
Most Drow, our Thunderbeast rib would not fit in their body.
A lot of bone for one of their artisans to carve down to make into things, though.
I mean, true. I mean, you might have some go. It would be worth a shot. Not something I would try personally.
Of course.
I'd probably. Huh. Yes. But I suppose that's a thing I should give you a fair warning of. You've obviously got a half-elf with you.
Yes.
By the looks of them, they've got fairly good eyes, good ears. I mean, the coloring's a bit off for what Drow would like, but I would keep an eye on them around Drow when you're out of here. Just some Drow might not want to pay for the upgrade.
Yeah, we've met some Drow previously. They're the reason I'm down here. I'll show him the collar that I kept.
Yeah.
I'm assuming you know what these are.
Yeah, but yeah, if I were you, I mean, as much as this information will be useful to me, I'm an ugly shit, so I'm not going to be of much value to them, but I'd stay far away from Menashara unless you really need to go there. I mean, if you're looking for a way out, that's probably a good way to go, but...
Unfortunately, I am trying to get back home, so that may be the only way out. But I'll thank
good
you.
luck to you.
I'll thank you for the information.
Did you add the 200 gold to your sheet?
I'm just doing it now.
Okay.
So there we go, that's 200. I'm rich-ish.
Yep.
And I'll
Yep, we'll head over to the group to rest up.
grab...
Are you going to join them, or are you busy watching the dance?
Going from what he said with Drow, Jorah will say sort of closer, keeping an eye on Elodie just to,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, so till sort of Elodie, decide to rest, then Jorah will go over and rest as well.
Fair?
I'm just setting up an alarm spell, just for safe
Okay.
measures.
And I will hand Shmoosh the sack of gold.
Hey, this is for me?
So you can get that scroll you were looking at. It's 200. There's 200 gold in there.
Oh, you shouldn't have, thank you. I was just gonna come back for it, but this is great.
I'll lean at the sort of Shmoosh level and go, it was free information. Do you remember that handkerchief that I found ages ago?
Yeah.
It tells me everything that's going on in Menashara with the houses.
Oh.
Who's growing, who's in charge, who's losing power. I went in there, looked at that, wrote it down, and gave him the information. I've still got the handkerchief.
Well played, Jorah, well played.
As far as he's concerned, I've got someone in there giving me the information, so we're golden.
Something else happened, it was quite funny. my sending stone rang when he was ringing someone else on the sending stone, and then Elodie, Elodie made out she was Altar, and now you need to ring.
Altar.
Yeah,
Wasn't Altar the old guy at the top?
right. And
I
Altar
can't
needs to
remember.
speak to Rolta, and Rolta needs to ring Rolto back in the morning.
Yeah,
James,
but
do we?
make sure to use channel 4. Someone
Yeah.
will need
Oh, yeah,
to...
you can do it. You're good at changing your voice, aren't you, Elodie?
I'm right here for this whole conversation.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
assuming this other dude's got like a really gruff kind of voice. Maybe
I've
what are you
seen-
dropping your words, mate?
James, do we
No,
know these
no.
guys that he mentioned?
Nope.
Gosh, so I can't even try and mimic it.
Elodie, I've seen you do illusions before.
Hmm.
You know, you got that spell you do. Minor illusion?
I
You
mean,
can
if,
make your voice. You can make your voice change like someone else's.
I
sorry, go on.
Yeah, Midas, you are here for this entire conversation.
Do you realize you guys ruined my whole trade deal?
No,
That's
this
right.
is fixing your whole trade deal.
Yeah, we're making it so like you can get what you want.
Now, I won't get what I want
You
because
can.
they're waiting for their call back. Unless you decide to call them back and...
I'll call them back. I'll
We
use my
have it.
illusion and be like, yeah.
Alright, well, these goggles I'm trying to get would be very useful because at the moment I can't see shit past 20 feet.
How many
Yeah,
fingers
good.
am I holding up?
1 sec. Let me...
I'm just gonna look at some shit. Do you have fingers or?
I do with this. Damn, I missed.
Two? A shout
Oh.
from over here.
Yeah, actually, yeah, it's two. Two
That was-
points of necrotic damage.
That was a good guess.
You might not need them.
I do need them. A
Oh,
lot.
fine, okay. Well, Elodie will ring him back in the morning, and I'll hand Elodie the sending stone again,
God damn.
and then you can put on a nice voice with your little illusion there,
Yeah.
and confirm Midas's rumor.
So the rumor was there is a secret room in Shinoris with liquid currency in it.
Yeah, Elodie was there. Do you remember? And
Yeah,
really
oh, yeah,
sell it. Really sell it. This has got to be worth a lot of gold.
Well, yeah, it was worth 1,500 gold.
Yeah,
I'm just
well, he
gonna
said
look at- Sorry, go on.
He said it didn't matter what the rumor is, you know. Like he said, he would weigh it up, how
Well,
much it's worth.
You could tell them exactly where it is, that it's underneath the pond in the under Shinaris bog.
Yeah, go crazy.
You just have to, stick your head in, like we did. And underneath is a big statue of some Buddha-looking character surrounded by jars of liquid currency.
Oh, big it up, exaggerate it.
I'm just gonna look at everyone and go. You do remember I can mimic voices perfectly, right?
Maybe Jorah might be the better person for this job.
And I will respond in exactly Elodie's voice.
Okay,
You
that
could
is
be right.
really creepy, Jorah. Please, just please.
Wait, who remembers that voice the best though? What was it? Altar's
None of you have
voice?
met someone called Altar.
No, we don't need Altar. You just Elodie said that they were Altar. They need
I'll let you do it.
They need Rolta to speak back, right?
Yep.
That's-
Again, not someone you've met, so you wouldn't know what they sound like to me.
Well, this is the problem.
But didn't he say that Elodie sounded like Altar just with a cold?
Oh, I say, I know, I got an idea. Why don't you ring back as the Dragon Man,
Why would
worthy
why would the Dragon
metal?
Man confirm his secret underground
Because
room?
he's like, oh yes, yes, I have an underground. Yeah, they're like, come visit, come bring your gold. More the merrier.
I'll just pat Shmoosh on the top of his cap and go, for someone so intelligent, you say some really stupid things sometimes.
Well, you know, I'm just trying to get Midas's 1,500 golds worth.
I know.
Yeah, just from knowing a dragon, they wouldn't openly tell people where their hoard is.
Hmm.
Or
Although,
a
Well,
type of hoard.
it's either that or you start guessing what
although that
Ralph
could be
was.
information in its own, that the guy in charge of the city is actually a dragon.
Hey,
Oh.
there you go.
And I can prove it.
Oh,
Can you?
Yes, I have the Sapphire Slumbering Dragon Touched spell focus.
Oh, and
yeah, we
I
can
have the
open.
skill as well. Yeah, come on, Jorah. Let's go give him some more information.
I was sleeping.
I mean, we're not going back to Shinoris, are we?
I hope not. Otherwise, listen, we've got more information for you.
However,
Yes.
it has a catch.
It
It can never come back that we told you this.
Ooh,
Yeah.
those are the best kinds of rumors.
And this is two pieces of information. This is where their hidden liquid currency stash is, which you've already been told. And this is something even bigger than that that no one else knows.
So this is how we know about the currency stash, and it's more than one of you telling you about it.
I bring out the.
Intrigued.
And we can tell you exactly where it is.
I bring out the Emerald Slumbering Dragon vessel as well.
I bring out the Sapphire Slumbering Dragon Touched focus, which is on the pommel of my dagger.
And I just
He's-
point to the brooch I'm wearing.
His eyes glitter.
And Bibble
Oh.
brings out his bad dragon.
So how much would it be? How much do you reckon we could get if someone in Shinoris was in fact a dragon?
Wow, if I was to guess, looking at what you've got, I'd say there's 2 dragons there.
Why?
Well, because one of you's got something that glints with blue and one glints with green.
And this isn't buy one get one free rumor. That was going to be the second exchange.
It's going to be. So my one, I will not mention. I will not say I owe her. I owe them. Whew, that was close. I owe them my life, so I will not give them up.
Okay.
The other person, I don't really care about.
Interesting. Okay. Well, I just knowing there's one there helps. So, what's this? So, who's the dragon that you're willing to rat out, as it were?
A man in charge.
What's he called? Mr. McGroove or something?
No, it's Metal Chin.
Does Metal Race.
Something Shooter.
Shooters McGee.
Shooter McGavin.
Ah,
Shoot my metal up.
The guy in charge of the place.
He's got something like Shooters something.
it's Shooter's Metal Life.
Yeah.
Yeah, see,
Yeah.
Oh,
that was close.
He's a sapphire dragon, I believe.
We got the first name right.
Emerald.
He's the Emerald. The other
Yeah,
one's the
Crystal
Sapphire.
was the Sapphire.
How much is it for the one dragon?
Well, I mean, of course, this is you obviously bought stuff from a dragon horde. I can tell that, so that adds some validity. And considering how long that bug has been living, some of the advances he's made, that would certainly add to it. And if you're not willing to sell out the blue, then that would mean it's the green, which would mean Emerald Dragon. So yes, that would fit the bill. That would fit the bill indeed.
And once we confirm once the other rumor gets confirmed, you'll absolutely know it's definitely a dragon.
I mean, let's face it, all of us are here. We all saw the room. We can tell you exactly where it is.
Well,
Why would we give you this one piece and lie about the other?
well,
And I'm gonna do a persuasion on that.
all things considered, considering that its rumor and its value, that could be useful for certain trades, particularly knowing what they favor. Fact, with that, this would be yes. Okay. I will give you a 50% discount on the goggles at night in exchange for this bit of information.
Mm-hmm.
Because it certainly opens up some very interesting trade opportunities if played right. And if the other one is proved to be true, of course I need confirmation from my cousin. Then I will knock off another, say, 250 gold.
So what you're telling me is
Okay.
750 gold for the dragon, 250 gold for the secret room.
I don't know how much value the secret room will have for me, but it seems a powerful
Oh, a
rumor if a
lot of
dragon's willing to keep it secret. But I will have to, of course. But yes.
Oh,
What?
so what? So in other words, if I tell you who the other secret dragon is, that's the whole 1500 plus
Midas.
plus
No,
250 gold. I don't owe a shit.
we all do.
Do we? For
Yes.
what?
The ooze that was about to wipe us out.
What ooze that we're gonna wipe us out?
The one that was shifting into the humanoid form.
Weren't we kicking its ass?
No.
I remember you coming in at the last moment after we were already kicking its ass.
I mean, they took it out.
After we were already kicking its ass.
Either way, they helped. You don't sell out the help.
I owe my allegiance to a different dragon.
Oh, a third dragon, you say? Well, that could be interesting. Are you willing to sell them out?
I won't tell you where they are, but you know, it's the abyssal one, Shengaraf.
Now I know where they are.
I pretty much thought so.
I do his windows for him every Tuesday.
Oh, I provide him with well, I've got a cousin, Outdoor, who delivers
Oh,
food
my
for him.
lord. Oh,
So hearing
no.
this, just as a quick one, James, I've been sitting there speaking to this guy for a while. Do you reckon I'd basically know his his vocal pattern?
You could probably mimic him.
Okay, that's fine.
But yes, right. I'm gonna be shutting up shop for the night. Well, not night, but for sleep
course.
time. So you guys all rest up, enjoy.
Did they confirm whether they'd give the other half for the second dragon?
I won't give you half of that. I mean, the only reason that one's so valuable is because of the position of said dragon. And I doubt anyone's going to be no one there's going to be more impressive.
Apart from the fact that they work in cahoots.
I mean, oh, that was obvious.
So they're both in position of power.
Not necessarily. What is... But if you know anything about sapphires and emeralds, they quite often work together.
I think it's less valuable now knowing one dragon's in charge. You know what I mean? It makes the second one less valuable. It's fine, Midas. You've got enough to pay for the rest. Come on.
Sorry, I really don't.
You do. You do.
Really don't.
You do. Now get over here and sleep.
I gave up valuable information and I'm gonna get nothing out of this.
What are you talking about? You got 700 and...
Unless they just straight up give me the gold.
You got 1,000 golds worth. And you're saying, oh, I got nothing. No. 1,000 golds worth.
Well, unless they're gonna straight up give me 1,000
and meanwhile,
gold.
here, I'm scraping together 50 and 25 gold trinkets to get a scroll.
My silent alarm if you want. Sell that.
What?
The horn of silent alarm. I've made no use of it this whole time of having it.
That's because you've made no use of it.
No, I have used it a couple of times. It's come to no use.
I mean, I had 29 gold before. Well, I currently have 29 gold pieces.
Alright. We're going to try and get a long rest in.
Yep, you can
Yeah.
get the long rest in. There may be other items if the goggles of night are not quite if aren't quite within reach.
New day. I will...
I mean, even with
check
what
the
I do have,
things.
they're not in reach.
Wrong one.
Okay.
There we go.
Dragon Vessel's recharged. Alright. Okay. Alright. So get that sending stone. Let's call up Ralto. No, Rolto.
I mean,
Ringing up Ralto in Rolto's voice.
I was assuming it was going to be similar to this guy's voice, just with a little bit of distortion.
Yeah, you do you.
So if Elodie wants to try it, we can let Elodie can give it a try.
Go, Elodie. You got this. Now's your time to shine.
Whichever's got the best performance, right?
That's true.
That would probably be Elodie.
I've got a +5 performance.
Plus
Okay.
6? Or unless it's deception, then it's +8.
Deception, I'm on a +7.
So it's Elodie all the way.
Isn't it?
You got this. You can sell it.
In this way,
Performance
at
check.
least this way, Jorah can give guidance.
Yes, I can actually.
Okay.
So I have a 3. I've rolled 3 every time so far.
You're coaching him. You're coaching Elodie on like some
Yeah.
some
So
voice workout.
Elodie to mimic this guy's voice, add a bit of distortion to it to make it sound slightly different, but still in a way that it could be related.
Yeah, I've
Yeah.
got to cast minor illusion as well.
Roll me a performance check.
Oh,
25.
Right, now make your conversation. Hello? Hello?
Hello? Is that you?
Well, who else is it gonna be? Though you ran on the wrong one. This is network.
I rang Channel 4.
No, you're right. You're calling me on channel 1. I could have sworn that went to Walter. Whatever. Not important.
You said Channel 4.
It's fine, it's fine. You can find the details. Apparently hidden room beneath there somewhere full of liquid currency.
Yeah. I stopped making some bargain Shinoris. And then there's this Buddha. And there's a load of jars with money in. Like not proper money. Yeah, but it was all liquid.
That's weird. Why the dragon keep it as liquid? But still, it's good. Anything else of interest down there, you know?
tell him about the golem.
There's this golem down there. Weird. proper weird. They're hiding lots of secrets down there.
What is Shooters up to? Well, that's that confirmed then, and pots of money but melted. I mean, that explains some of the rumors coming out of there recently. Okay, it's at least got some value to it. Thanks. Honestly, go get some bed rest. You sound awful. I'm pretty sure. I'm worried that somehow we're getting a disease using these sending stones because everyone I've been calling recently just sounds terrible. Like they've got the worst cold I've ever heard.
Yeah, I think we need some new ones because the quality of them just ain't the same.
Oh, but I bought this one off. I bought one of them off that ogre recently. We'll have to look into it.
Oh,
Also, we need to get some sort of more direct lines so that we're not having to go through these multiple networks. It's just becoming awkward.
yeah, it's proper confusing. All right then, I'm gonna go explore Shinoris a bit more.
Cheery bye.
Cheerio, bye.
Well played.
Wow.
Clap,
That
clap.
was brilliant.
I did
Well
not
done.
know you had that in you.
You know what? Just because you managed to get that, you can have an inspiration.
Oh,
well
okay.
worth it.
Well,
I just channeled my inner Cockney, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, that was beautiful.
So yeah, you confirmed the rumor.
Elodie actually
Spectacularly. With
Elodie
many,
actually already has inspiration by the looks.
No, I've just added inspiration on.
Oh, did you? Just there.
with performing it up to the extent that there's many secrets down there, not just
Yeah, you might get more information.
wow.
Hold on.
I wouldn't have thought of adding that to it. That was very well played.
So we go back and see what we get then.
Yeah, I want a drink.
I think
Just
I
what-
need a drink.
We just woke up and I want a drink.
So we'll give it like half an hour, and then we go back to him because
Yeah.
it'd be a bit weird.
Yeah,
Yeah, just go up right after. So, what did he say? We'll give it. How do you know?
Welcome back. Do you want some breakfast? I've got some sausages, though technically they're made from broccoli, so they're brossages, I guess.
I'll take anything over dried trial rations right about now.
Sure.
And I've got some Pokora eggs, pretty big. Make an omelette.
Cool. Let's try those. Any word yet, or should we come back later?
Oh, yeah, I actually did get word. They got back. Honestly, though, if you ever get some sanding stones, make sure you get them, like, thoroughly cleansed. Everyone who's using them seems to be getting cold or something recently. Kind of brings to mind some of those other rumors I've been hearing, but nothing there. So, after speaking to them, they've got some confirmation, know where it is, done some bits and bobs, and I reckon it's probably worth, I'd say, $350. So that, if you want the goggles, that'll be 400 in total, I think.
Sorry, hold on. Was it half price before?
Yeah. So it was not. So 750 was knocked off, so it was 1500 down to 750, and 350 off that, bringing it down to 400.
Okay.
And how much would it bring it down to if I told you who the other dragon was?
I mean, I could probably knock another 100 off.
That's not even worth it.
Like I said, I mean, the one we found out about was so valuable because of the position they're in. Honestly, they're just ideally positioned.
What about that horn you don't want, Midas?
Yeah, how much do you want for this horn? You could silently get hold of someone within, I believe it's within 500 feet?
Oh, have a look at
600 feet. So if someone's within 600 feet here, you could silently alert them, or they can silently alert you if any bad people are gonna try and storm your little market here. It's a security device for you.
It could come in handy. Come in handy.
And you can do it 4 times a day.
4 times. 4 times, you say. Let me have a think.
So 2 rumors and a magical item for your magical item.
Not that rare. And, I mean, they have their uses, but let me have a.
Unless you'd rather just fork over 1100 gold.
I do have some other stuff of similar value that could be of interest to you. Perhaps.
I think seeing in dark places is the most interest you're gonna get.
I mean, what about sort of look through his items, shuffling about.
Haven't you got a chainmail that you want to sell as well, don't you?
A chainmail and so. Oh yeah, have I got a chainmail?
Yeah. In your bag of holding.
Oh yeah, the bag of holding. I forgot that's something that I can actually open. Yeah, how much is a chainmail to sell?
Normally worth 75 gold. So if you're reselling it,
You know,
probably about
I
that,
can
yeah.
probably knock off another 150 for the horn.
Sure, that's
200.
150 for the horn and unused chainmail.
Chainmail, you say?
Unused as a specific.
Hmm.
Been living in a hidden void for a good 6
Nice.
months.
I could probably give you 40 gold for that.
Not bad.
Okay.
That's a good deal.
Where are we at right now?
Well, you take off that and add 40 gold to yourself.
160, I think you'd be on.
160 left to bargain with. Oh god.
And then you just spend your gold.
I told you what gold.
Or if you ask Elodie, you can maybe change that up for some silver.
Fine. I give up begrudgingly. I
Why
guess
don't you swap it out with Elodie's silver, so Elodie doesn't lose any gold? And Leia,
Elodie-
if you want to try and get the gold back off Elodie, by
Elodie only
selling it.
has 5 silver, though.
Elodie has not 5 silver. Look in their bag of holding there, 320 silver.
Oh, in the bag of holding, yeah.
Yeah.
I forgot
You,
about
you,
bag of holding.
you do. You've got
yeah, we've
320 silver
3
pieces.
bags of holding, I forget.
The only one without a bag of holding.
Yeah. If you give Elodie 32 gold, then you can have 220 silver.
I mean, Shmoosh has got 4 platinum in his.
Yeah, I
would-
do. But that's only 40 gold.
I'd just give them the fucking gold.
Ah.
Okay, so the 160 gold. And
Think about all the gold you will be able to see now.
I guess it's an investment in stealing in the future.
You can't steal very well if you're lit up.
But you
Just-
weren't allowed to steal, Midas.
Not here. Places where they don't tell me not to steal.
I love that that's your rule.
So stupid.
It entertains me in such a weird way. I don't know why.
And knowing this is Midas' rule, I'm going to look at him and say, you're not allowed to steal from any of us.
Who says I haven't already?
From this point on, you are not allowed to steal from any of us.
Okay.
What Jorah said.
I've only ever stolen for you guys. Like, think of that scroll that I got for Shmoosh.
Yes, you
And
steal
look-
for us is fine.
And
From
look how
us, no.
happy he was with it.
I'm still feeling bad about holding it.
There you go. You've now got goggles of nights on.
And I
Which,
can now see in 60 foot of darkness.
yeah, seeing if that's updated your vision. Nope, it hasn't. But I will now.
I was very slowly building up gold as well. I'd gone all the way from like 110 to 296.
It's fine. I'll hand Midas a gold coin.
Yeah,
Does that make you feel a little bit better?
a little bit. Now I've only lost 159.
I don't have much more to spare, so
No, it's fine. I can't believe that we gave up two major rumors that may stop us from going back into Shinoris if we're
Well,
ever found out.
it won't come back to bite us. We have the gentleman's guarantee.
I've got the S as well. I'd like to sell.
Hmm?
It's and this as well.
What are you selling?
I've got like an emblem and an amulet. Basically, these are from like the very first looting things we did way back.
Do we
They're
need
probably
these?
not.
Do we need these
I've been
barrels
holding
not
on to them
for
this
water?
whole time.
I mean, water's
Um,
always good to have.
I mean, I can have a look at them. I'm just.
Yeah. Holy symbols.
That's
Do I have some value to them?
I'm gonna look and go. Flash crystals. They worth anything down here or not really?
Yeah, they can be. Depends on how good quality ones you got.
I'll show him the two that I've got.
Let's update people's vision. So now got actually set up as dark vision, which is interesting. Changes it slightly. Okay. So Shmoosh, what were you showing them? Sorry.
The two holy symbols in the chat.
Holy symbol, a gift to you when you enter the priesthood. And you've got two flash crystals, you said.
Mhm. Yeah, you said they were about sort of fist-sized.
Yes. I'm just writing myself where those are on your sheet. Yeah. Well, I can probably give you 5 gold for each of the flash crystals.
Knock it off as the price for the scroll.
Okay. We're up to 2.
And for the holy symbol, I can maybe give you a gold.
A gold.
I do have one item. It's
Gold
very
each.
Huge amount.
Sorry, go on. What's up?
I've got 2 of them, so I guess a gold each.
Yeah.
Very nice.
I have one item. It's very strange. I don't want you to ask me how I came across it. But I can guarantee you that I am being truthful. And if I'm lying, you are free to remove my eye. So I'm being really truthful here. And I pull out the silk undergarments that I stole from the High Priestess of the prison. And I tell him they are High Priestesses.
Yeah, I saw it coming. Which is why, as you pull them out, immediately this Drow scout stands up and goes to draw his sword, and in response, the Rolto just basically points at them and goes, "Don't even think about it."
I'm going to look at this Drow. Does he look familiar?
No, but obviously you talking about having a Drow priest's underwear is enough to annoy any Drow.
I want to pull a real sort of dick move. I'm going to look at the Drow and I'm going to flash my face to change it to the visage of the priestess.
Wow.
And immediately he goes to charge forward, and I'm actually gonna do something here just to sort of show why you don't mess with this guy. He just sort of points at them and literally a boulder dropped from the ceiling on his head.
Oh,
Look
yeah.
up and go, huh, that's impressive.
No fighting. He's just sort of looks at them for a moment. It's just
And sorry, go on.
he's just like, get him later.
I'll then look back at him and go, does that now confirm that that's where they came from?
I mean, it certainly adds a certain amount of value to it, so I would say I'll give you. Let me have a proper look at them.
Of course.
Sniff them.
He does sniff. He has a very big nose, and it's probably how he
Wow.
determines value. 5 gold pieces.
Oh,
So how much are we
Yeah,
off?
go
What
for
Shmoosh
it.
wants? How much?
Anymore.
How much are we off?
I've lost.
we've got that much.
Left to do.
No, that's how much we've got.
Yeah, but how much have we? Do we
I
need?
think James said it was 600?
I
No,
thought it
was it less than
four?
that? Was it 4? I can't remember now.
It was 640 in total.
Jesus.
Oh, so it's 200 or 300 off.
James,
Mm-hmm.
how long does a psionic knife last for?
Until it leaves your hand, I believe. Or it'll hit a target and then it'll disappear.
Yeah,
Hold
I was
on,
wondering if I could concentrate on a psionic knife and sell it to him, but possibly
Yeah.
not.
I can sell my Tim's
The
cup.
blade
and that'll bring
vanishes
us
immediately up. Hits
That's not my-
the target.
What if I'm not making it hit a target? What if I'm just giving it to a target?
It would count.
I have one other item that could be useful.
That's with the Tim's cup.
So, do you remember when we summoned Crystal? I had the ice stone that you said lost power. You never said it disintegrated, it just lost its power.
Yep.
I still have that stone.
Yep.
However, I don't know if that would then tell this guy who the other dragon is, even though it's lost its power.
That is the worry. I will say, he was saying, if you're looking to get any money off, the thing I like the most, other than rumors, are big, heavy weapons.
I got a short sword and a longbow. That's about it.
Over there.
No, something like a great sword or a maul or a big
Yeah, so,
warhammer.
you know, guys, it's okay. We can come back through here, and I can buy it later. For now, I don't even know if I can learn that scroll, right? See, so it'd be a while before I could use it.
What about that blue crystal that I gave to Elodie so I wouldn't be tempted to burn down your mushroom kingdom?
It has no description.
It's the energy crystal used for the robots in Shinoras.
Yeah, I could get rid of that. I haven't got a use for it. So, like,
He'll have a look, and once again, he'll call over the deep gnome to have a look. Actually, no, in this case, do you mention that it's a power source sort of thing?
I guess so. I just said it out loud.
Then he'll actually invite the Dwarga over, who'll have a look. He'll listen to it, tap it with a small hammer, listen to it again and be like, "Noah is something I've not seen in a fair while. Yes. Not seen a blue one before, but I've seen a red one. A very similar sort of thing. Used to power some automatons, and it keeps them running for ages. No maintenance needed, self-repairing almost.
Yeah, it's the same thing in Shinoras with all their guardians.
Now, if you've got the right person to sell to, and I know you've got the connections, I'd probably say yes. It's power source, particularly if you can learn how it works and mass produce, you've probably got 200 golds worth.
Ooh.
At least. Maybe more, but I'll leave that up to your judgment.
You've also got to factor in that it was taken from the the dragon we told you about. So that makes it even more special.
He considers it and goes 250.
There we go. We're getting somewhere.
That's two. That's given us over 600.
And we needed 640, didn't we?
Yeah.
And
You're about, I think you're on
I think it works out about 30 gold
617.
off.
About 23 gold off.
and
23
Elodie had all that silver, you said?
Usually
Oh.
does, yeah.
How much did you say? 23?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll pay the rest.
Oh, Jorah, you're the best, Jorah.
That leaves me with 5 gold.
Okay. Make sure you all remove those items from your sheets.
Yeah, I've been removing them as I've gone down.
Yaz is on a be right back, I'll remove them from their sheet myself.
Yeah. I've
Wow.
removed them as I've gone down.
You're
Okay.
glad that I rolled a nat 20 on stealing.
Yeah,
Well,
that's a lot
there
of
you
stuff.
go. You've now got some items and such.
Yeah.
Stealing doesn't
Does
pay.
this guy have a character sheet?
Well, so that you can transfer the items to him.
Rollto, yeah.
He does.
That way you can
but
give him,
not.
that way if the other group ever come to this guy, there's those things you can sell.
Yes, I will keep that in mind. I will say that the chances of them coming across him, unless I decide to use it, is very slim because they are on the other side of the dark lake.
Alright.
But
Well,
maybe,
You never know.
maybe they'll run into one of his cousins.
Is
Yeah.
this guy unconscious over here?
No, he's just been dazed and been hit by a literal,
Well, you-
almost think like a roadrunner style boulder just came out of nowhere and hit him on the head.
To be
Hack
fair,
people.
you got to think of it this way. He's clearly a traveling merchant as well. He can set up shop where he wants because he's got a traveling snail.
He does. If he has a character sheet, drag the things from my sheet onto his.
So what
It
have we
was-
sold to him?
Was this, this.
I'll try.
If
How
you
much is a
look on,
dance from one of these lovely ladies?
look at my, if you open up my character sheet and open up
Yeah.
his, you should be able to drag him across.
Yeah, so let me open up your Shmoosh and I'll see if I can.
Into his
Uh,
inventory.
Yeah. So you've done.
Oh, I deleted my stuff. I didn't realize you were going to be dragging.
Yeah, I've deleted them. I mean, in fairness, mine was a lot of just junk stuff like silk underwear.
Yep.
So I've got that stuff and some other stuff.
Get work.
Did you delete it off my sheet?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go, fine. Sorry, I was like, be right back when you did that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I just thought I'd
We got somewhere.
Yeah.
Shmoosh gave thing. I lost some gold, but I gained means of
You
getting more
invested
gold.
some gold.
I did invest some gold.
There
So
you
long-
guys. On his sheet.
So long as my father doesn't learn that I gave away gold.
You didn't give it
Oh.
away, you invested it to survive.
I'll keep that further
Oh,
in mind.
sorry. Jorah, I just remembered I did have a silver inkwell I was going to sell him. Here you go. You can, no, have 25 gold back.
Okay.
There you go. You have 20. I gave Jorah 25 gold back.
Where's the silver inkwell? Is that on?
That was on the bag of holding. I just deleted it though.
Yeah.
That wasn't it. That was just,
Yeah.
just expensive junk.
Yeah, there you go. I think I've removed everything that needs to be removed and whatnot, so...
Okay, here we go. I'm feeling
Alright.
lighter.
Alright.
And I got a scroll of gears, which is pretty big.
Yep.
I'll just have to get levels.
Yeah.
Oh, how much is a dance from one of the lovely twins?
For one win, it is 2 gold. For both, it's 5.
Worth 5 gold. There we go. I'm gonna have a dance from both. And
Okay,
I'm just gonna push this guy onto the floor.
Yeah, he's not dead. He's just injured.
Oh no,
he's
but
heavily injured, but
I'm just gonna
Get some
push him into the
inspiration.
corner.
okay, so they both move over and begin to dance around you, probably grinding up against you, perhaps using various illusions, and I will give them both a performance check at advantage.
Oh, James,
It's
you
not.
want
It's not just
exact
that. I'm
details.
learning as well. I'm learning, watching how they move, so then I can mimic it later.
Okay, so one of them seems better than the other. One gets a 22 and the other gets an 11. But it seems like one of them is, whilst they're almost twins, one of them is slightly younger, so perhaps is less experienced. Or perhaps they're just not quite as used to dancing together.
That's no problem. And I said I'll watch them to learn how they dance. So
Roll
I
me
can
an
mimic it if
insight
needs
check.
be. I will guidance myself.
And as they dance, each of them seems to split into. Perhaps the reason is because as each of them dances, they split into 4 separate people as they cast mirror image.
Okay.
Oh lord, trippy.
Yeah. So you've now got like 8 people dancing around you.
I just lean back, sort of hands behind his head, and just enjoy them.
And then give me a wisdom saving.
Oh shit. Can I ask what it's?
It is a charm effect.
That's fine. Wisdom saving throw. 12.
Okay. That is a fail. As they dance and they've got this like mirrored image up, strange colours begin to appear in the air and you go into a daze for a full minute as they cast hypnotic pattern upon you.
Wow.
But once the dance is over, they both just step aside.
Do I recognize this hypnotic pattern over here?
You probably do.
Right,
You've never
go
seen
over
it
and-
performed through a dance.
Can I,
Mesmerizing.
I'm gonna stop this dancer before she goes off. Well, like, you know the rules are not to steal anything, right?
Yeah,
We do not steal goods. We merely steal a moment of time.
Oh,
we insight on whether they stole anything?
You can.
I will.
They seem to be truthful.
oh.
I will psionic that.
Elodie,
Go
I
on.
will say that for you, Elodie, they say what you get is that they're very literal when they say a moment of time.
Oh,
Oh, they stole
a memory?
a memory or something.
He stole his memories?
They
Jorah,
don't say anymore.
Jorah, snap out of it!
Jorah.
Give me that barrel stalk, Midas.
What?
Splash him with some barrel stalk water.
And
I'm
you
part of
wake
what?
up and the dance is over.
You lost it for a second, then.
What's your name? Where you from?
What is your
Yep.
favourite childhood memory?
Such a weird thing to ask.
What's the name of his
Oh,
childhood dog?
I'm playing right into this. Just, I don't know.
Wait, you don't know any of those questions?
No. Who are you?
Well, it's a lost cause. Let's leave him behind.
No, Jorah, we're your
Midas.
friends.
Sighting into him.
You see
I'm.
deception, I guess.
No.
You
Oh.
could guidance it.
Yes.
Hey, what's he
Oh.
casting?
He's casting.
It's the same.
He's casting.
He's casting.
But does he remember how to cast guidance?
Apparently he does. But
I can
you
do
feel like
it.
I'm gonna give the win to Midas because he did nat 20, even though you did equal. Just because I'll
You
say
saw
he
him
doesn't get the.
himself?
You saw him, not necessarily like that, but you can tell like he's not telling the truth. He's messing with you, little.
Yeah, I think what gave it away was him subtly trying to use a spell.
I wasn't being subtle about it. I was just.
Well, I guess we've lost a member because they don't know who they are or what they're here for. So I guess we'll just have to go on without him.
And I would have used the language abyssal to cast it because it's not a language you've heard me speak yet.
We'll have to recruit this drow.
Yeah, maybe the drow will be of more use.
It's when Jorah turns into the drow and pretends to be him for the rest of the campaign. Oh, shit.
And now I'm playing
Oh,
Shmoosh.
dear.
Come here. Well, just 1 minute they were dancing and then you threw water at me.
Oh. Yeah, I think they cast a hypnotic pattern on you.
It was very hypnotic.
Oh.
Yes.
A spell I'm trying to master myself, in fact.
Why don't you ask them for some advice?
Not a bad shout. Not a bad shout. Hey, dancer ladies.
Yes, little mushroom. I'm afraid
show
our
me-
dances might not be to your taste.
No, but your magic is. I saw you cast a spell back there.
Yes,
It seemed like you mastered it.
quite. Though we can only do it a limited amount per day. But when we dance together, we like to use it.
Can you show me the moves?
They,
I mean the
You-
somatic components.
you know what? That one of them will demonstrate, and I'll give them again the advantage on it, and I want a performance check from you to try to mimic their dance.
Oh my lord.
Just imagine Smoosh with like really red lipstick on, some mushroom fishnets, ready
Okay.
for the lap dance.
It's maybe performance, but can I implore my intelligence as it's
Yes.
sort of I'm trying to practice the somatic
Yeah.
components. Okay, so I got a d20 plus 5 for this. That's my performance. Oh,
It's actually very good.
sexy
Wow,
smooth dancing.
You're a natural little mushroom.
Oh, I think I got it, guys.
Keep practicing, and you'll soon be perhaps even better than us. Only our third sister was here. We could really show you what we're made of.
I imagine I get my little vine hands out and I sort of wiggle them in a pattern like
Yeah.
a hula girl.
It's your money maker, Shmoosh.
Wait, where's the third sister?
Shaking, I'm shaking.
Our third sister is out on business.
Wait, so she gave up on the business with you to go pursue solo acts?
No, she is merely scouting for talent, I suppose is the right way. Want to expand our act.
But do you not keep it in the family?
No. Well, we keep the dancing in the family, but there is more to our performance than just dance.
Like, what else do you do?
Well, I can do this, and they walk towards Shmoosh and step into Smoosh's shadow and walk out of Jorah's.
Whoa.
How'd you do that?
A shadow is merely another dimension to those who know how to walk it.
Can you teach that, or is that just like a you thing?
You need to spend an extensive amount of time studying the shadows.
I'm gonna look and go, it's very impressive, but I can do this as well. And I'll swap to mimic their form.
Yep. Yeah.
In my
This-
like in my suit.
Fair.
Changing forms doesn't change clothes. So I'm still in my normal clothes, but in their form.
Yeah. I'll say it took all of their basically magic to do the hypnotic pattern effect on you, because normally it takes 3 of them to do such an effect. They're actually a really interesting thing. Essentially, one of them has to begin casting the spell, and the other 2, if there is another 2, have to use their reaction to complete it.
That's quite cool.
Yeah. It's interesting to see monsters or creatures or whatever that work together.
Almost like hags.
Almost.
But anyway, so do we want to go, or should we check out the weird cave where the really, really red dragon thing salamander came out of?
This goblin walks past with a pickaxe and a shaft. Oh, back to work, I guess.
Did he
So,
did he take anything from anyone as he passed?
no.
It works in the mines, which is where we've got to go through.
Oh, true. But do we want to check out the salamander cave?
Why?
I don't know. It just seemed weird that a salamander popped out and went, "Yep, the rumors are true," and then went back in, and that's all we heard from them.
Are we allowed in the salamander cave, mister?
Notes.
Why not?
Store.
What do you mean?
Oh,
store?
there's your answer, Midas.
Is a room where we store room.
It's
guess,
a room. It's a room where you store rooms.
Maybe. There are boxes and barrels and kegs and carrels.
Barrels?
Yes, that's my cousin.
Okay, I'm not even going to entertain that any further.
Oh, Bibble, you still sleeping?
Yeah, Bibble walks. Bibble's been putting his arm on this entire time. He's still
Bibble-
getting used to it.
Will you stand up straight, please, Bibble?
I'm coming.
Everything's in black and white.
Yeah.
Guys, are we done here, or do we want to spend a little while so I can finish copying this scroll down?
Oh
I mean,
my god.
Is
You
that
must
actually
finish
how
copying
it's
the
done
scroll.
the dark vision thing?
Oh my god, I don't like this.
Sorry, I
Is
actually
it
want to
black
say.
and white?
Everything's in black and white.
Yeah, I
Oh, it
thought
actually
would be.
has.
I mean, if you want to do the scroll before we leave, then we can do that.
There's another scroll I need to do, which is only 2 hours. I should have done it last night, but we kind of rushed over it.
We could probably spend a couple of hours just.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to spend a couple of hours chilling there,
Yeah.
and we can just
pick it
that
up
seems a
next session.
good time to end the session anyway.
Yeah,
As
I'll
you're
just
preparing to
time
head
it
off.
as well.
All right. So if Jorah helps me copy down a scroll,
I mean, I'll do what I can to help.
Yeah.
but yeah.
a guidance would help.
Yep, I will guidance. 2 minutes.
Okay.
There's another 3.
Natural 20.
Wow.
Okay.
33 then.
33, yeah. Whoosh. I think we slam dunk that scroll. That one's not for hypnotic pattern or anything, that's for spider climb. That one needed doing anyway. I'll add spider climb to my sheet. You know what? Might as well try and prepare it for today. And we'll prepare this.
Right, well, that's out of game preparation.
There we go.
But that is where we shall end tonight's session. I hope everyone has enjoyed the session despite the technical issues. That became much more of a shocking episode than I was expecting, but
Yeah,
it was fun.
it
No, thank you for the session, James.
Yeah, and we will be back hopefully in 2 weeks, but we will let you know in one of the other sessions if there are any issues.
is.
But
Alrighty.
bye for now.
Bye bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.